Howdy. I just wanted to start off with a quick screen recording I made some time ago, yesterday or 2 days ago, about clouds dissipating when they reach the plasma rock site. Check it out. Here they come from the south and they just dissipate. And that's the same video once again. Now they start to rise and get bigger, and as they get closer, they just... But anyway, that's the sky at the moment. Very interesting cloud here. I hope someone will straighten it up. It seems to be hanging. But anyway, there is quite something going on. I don't know if these are noctilucent clouds. It might be. Same picture, a little bit enhanced. They have noctilucent cloud features. And the quality isn't the best I can make, but since I'm running out of storage space once again. They are a bit grainy as you zoom in, but now to something readable. From the Earth System Knowledge Platform, Helmholtz, probably have heard of those. Natural hazards, earthquake. Swarm earthquakes in the Falkland. Earthquakes in the Falkland are not uncommon. Professor Thorsten Daum from the Geoforschungszentrum Potsdam explains the reasons in an interview. Scientists from the GFZ and the UFZ sampling carbon dioxide on a MOFET. So obviously, there is water. Okay. At the moment, the earth is shaking again in the border area of the three German free states of Bavaria, Saxony and Thuringia, and the Czech region around Asch and Eger. Earthquakes are not uncommon in the Falkland, or as the Czechs call it, Vojtsko. Last year, for example, the so-called swarm earthquake occurred in July on the German-Czech border. The epicenter of the strongest tremor was at a depth of 7 kilometers north of the Czech municipality of Nový Kostel, Neukirchen. Since May 10, 2018, there has been another series of stronger earthquakes, with the strongest so far reaching a magnitude of 4.2 on May 21, 2018. Schwarmbeben im Falkland. Here we have Falkland. And here we have statistics. I will put a link below to that. You can read it in all the time you need. I just make it quick and sketchy as always. I don't try to make it sketchy, but quick at least. On the knowledge platform Earth and Environment, the seismologist Professor Dr. Thorsten Daum from the German Research Center for Geoscience in Potsdam, some background information on these swarm earthquakes in the Falkland. What are the causes of earthquakes in Falkland? Professor Dr. Thorsten Daum. Earthquakes in the German-Czech border region Falkland, West Bohemia, have been known for centuries. So-called earthquake swarms occur there again and again, i.e., a large number of weak and medium-strong earthquakes that occur over weeks to months and cannot be assigned to a clear main earthquake. This type of seismic activity differs from the seismicity pattern we see in ordinary tectonic earthquakes. It is similar to the seismic activity often found on active volcanoes or in hydrothermal fields. The term swarm earthquake was introduced in the Falkland and is now used worldwide to describe this special seismicity pattern. I found this really interesting. Really total accident, I found out where they started to call it swarms, earthquake swarms, in Germany, Falkland. Really interesting. According to your estimate, what is the maximum magnitude of the earthquakes in the Falklands? Down. Since the instrumental seismic monitoring, i.e. for about 100 years, there have been no earthquakes in the Falkland with magnitudes greater than 4.5. We are also not aware of any stronger earthquakes for the narrow swarm region from historical records. A little further north, i.e. already on German territory, individual earthquakes with slightly larger magnitudes of up to 5.5 are described in the historical catalogues. We seismologists assume that earthquakes stronger than 4.5, can also occur in the immediate swarm area in Falkland. The earthquake is so-called swarm earthquake. This is a so-called swarm earthquake. You have already explained what it is, but how do earthquake swarms arise? The cause of the swarm earthquakes in the Falkland has not yet been fully clarified. We have many indications that swarms are generally triggered by the intrusions of deep fluids into the rocks of the Earth's crust and existing zones of weakness. In other regions, for example in volcanic zones, these are often magmas, i.e. molten rock material that rises from deeper areas of the Earth's crust. What is special about the Falkland, however, is that there's no active volcanism is observed on the surface. However, we know now that the earthquake swarms in the Falkland region are also related to the rise of fluids through the Earth's crust. On the surface of the Earth in western Bohemia and the Falkland, for example, many gas and fluid outlets, so-called moffats, can be observed. So I just wondered already when I was reading that the first time that how they don't relate to volcanism. Gas and fluid outlets. What? No, anyway. More detailed investigation of the escaped gases have shown that the gaseous fluids come from great depths in the upper mantle, i.e. significantly deeper than 30 kilometers, and are of magmatic origin. To this day, however, we cannot say with certainty whether magmas that have risen at the depth of the swarm earthquakes, i.e. between about 6 and 10 kilometers, trigger the earthquakes, or whether it is is carbon dioxide, CO². Recent investigations sometimes point to the first and sometimes to the second hypothesis. In any case, we know that the specific earthquake swarm region near the Czech village of Nový Kostel, where the most recent earthquake occurred, is characterized by old and crossing faults in the crust. Likewise, we can determine that the fluids at the depth are highly overpressurized and the fault zones are under significant shear stress. These are all important prerequisites for triggering earthquakes and earthquake swarms. Since when have swarm earthquakes been occurring in the Falkland, and what can they be traced back to? Swarm earthquakes have been documented here for many hundreds of years. What research has been carried out on swarm earthquakes at the German Research Center for Geoscience, GFZ, and the Environmental Research Center, UFZ, so far? The region has been researched by many research groups for years, especially by our Czech colleagues, by us at the GFZ, by the UFZ, and by several universities. We are the phenomenon of swarm earthquakes. We are. Yeah, that's Google translation. We are the phenomenon of swarm earthquakes and the fluid and CO2 degassing close on the trail, so to speak. But in order to clarify special hypotheses, we have to take a next step toward more precise observations. In particular, we need to record very small earthquakes, which can provide clues to fluid ascent paths below and above the actual swarms. In order to achieve this, we want to set up a modern observatory as part of an international consortium, and together with our Czech partners, which is specifically dedicated to the phenomena of swarm earthquakes and diffuse CO2 gassing. This program is intended to carry out the measurements in boreholes and be part of the International Continental Deep Drilling Program, ICDP. In order to test the concept, we at the GFZ in the Earthquake and Volcanophysics Department, Section 2.1, together with the Geophysics Department of the University of Potsdam, carried out initial test measurements in a shallow borehole that Bad Brambacher Mineralbrunnen AG temporarily provided us with for this purpose had provided. Bad Brambacher. So we have again bath geothermal activity. The sensors in the borehole have also recorded recent earthquakes, giving us important insights into the frequency content of the events emitted at depth. The question to Prof. Thorsten Dahm from the German Research Center for Geosciences were posed by Karl Zupa, Earth System Knowledge Platform. Credentials. So I was reading this today and I wondered about this CO2 degassing, because somehow I got told that if you're watching volcanic activity, you have to watch out for SO2. SO2, sulfur dioxide, and not carbon dioxide. So I wrote this Professor Dahm about that. Are they really examining CO2 as a degassing component of these places? And he answered me. And he said, yes, we are really talking about CO2. And since I was surprised that I got an answer, I just had to ask him that, does this also fit like CO2 degassing, for example, cryptodomes? Like if you have a cryptodome, does it degas by emitting CO2 gases and not SO2 gases like normal volcanoes do? Yeah, but I haven't got an answer yet to that. Maybe he will answer me tomorrow, let's see. But anyway, who else I could ask about this? And he's like, somewhere to tell it. He's a doctor, professor. Professor Doctor. So he might know, because what do I know? That's why I ask people who I think they should know, because they are professionals, they get money for what they do, they can make experiments and all kinds of other things because they have equipment and the money and all the possibilities. So they should know. So it would be really interesting to get an answer from him about cryptodomes and probable degassing events from cryptodomes, since there are a few cryptodomes in Germany as well. But let's see how this will go. Do I get an answer or not? But I was asking about this, and they are gathering carbon dioxide on a moffat from the water. Any coincidence? Cryptodomes, mountain water? I don't know. Very interesting. And why does one wear gloves, the other doesn't? What's the point of that? I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to share this with you. Like, I ask people who I expect they should know. Professor Thorsten Dahm from the Geoforschungszentrum Potsdam. If he knows about CO2 degassing from these kind of places, he probably should know about degassing, mechanics of cryptodomes as well. Let's see. What does he think about? Does he respond or not. Maybe tomorrow. But anyway, I think I'll leave it here. I will put a link below. Check it out. Earth System Knowledge Platform. Greetings. Bye.